Next up, we have another graduate of Richmond High School, class of 1989, I think you said, Teri, yeah? Teri Wiggins. She is a nurse practitioner and a holistic health practitioner at Living Pathways. I think holistic health practitioner means she's like a Jedi. So, the force is strong with her. Please welcome Teri Wiggins.
Hello. I recently returned from my very first trip to India, January 2nd to the 24th. I was with the Earlham School of Religion. About 20 of us went together, and our intention was to have multiple interfaith experiences in the vast northern part of India. We traveled by planes and trains and automobiles and buses and tuk-tuks. So my first story is about a train. And I want to explain this train. It's a little bit different. One side is just a row of single chairs, seats, and the other side is our compartments where we open up berths and sleep at night, sleeping train. And so there are 6 people in that compartment, and those were colleagues of mine. I was sitting in a single seat at that time, and I remembered I had a Snickers bar. So I dug in my backpack and pulled it out, and I was savoring it. And all of a sudden I felt somebody staring at me. And I look up, and there's a woman in the car compartment ahead, an Indian woman. She's not staring at me, she's staring at my Snickers bar. And she raised her gaze, and we saw each other, and we burst into laughter because she knew that I knew what she was thinking. And sure enough, she came back to our apartment a little bit later, and she actually admitted to having Snicker envy. And we both laughed again, and I considered that one of my very first cross-cultural experiences. Another experience that I had was in the city of Bodh Gaya. And this city was where the Bodhi tree is that Buddha sat under to become enlightened. So this town was filled with the most beautiful Buddhist temples made by many, many of the Asian countries that practice Buddhism. And so a few of us, 6 of us, traveled by foot from the Root Institute where we were staying and traveled on this dirt road into the center of town. And we did a temple tour. And then we were complete with that. And 2 of us decided to go back to the Root Institute, so we headed back, and on the way I was traveling with Waleed, and he declared again that he really wanted to drive a tuk-tuk. Now I don't know how many of you know what tuk-tuks are, but I'll try to explain as best I can. It's a 3-wheeled motorcycle with a cab on top, and there are about 3 to 5 passengers that can sit in it. And it runs by gas or electricity. He wanted to drive that. So we were heading back, and we spotted this one tuk-tuk in front of the Root Institute where we were staying. And he went, "This is it." And I want to share a little bit about Waleed. He is the youngest person that was in our group. He's adventurous. He thinks way outside the box, and nothing is impossible. So when he declares something, it happens. Waleed. He does not want to stand up. Well, he's kind of right there. So Waleed went directly up to this driver, elder man, asked if he could drive his tuk-tuk. And the elder man had no idea what he had just been asked because his English was not that good. So we finally got around to explaining it in a way he got it. And then Waleed quickly added, well, I will give you money for this. If I can drive your tuk-tuk, I will give you money. So he offered him 100 rupees. And 100 rupees is $1.40. And the man, you could see his wheels turning, and he's thinking, and then he said, okay. So Waleed got in the car, in the tuk-tuk, and they turned around and retraced their steps back, and Waleed was navigating holy cows and stray dogs and other tuk-tuks and people and the divots in the road and driving on the, which side of the road do I drive on? He came back safely. He got out of the tuk-tuk and then he said, it's your turn. So I thought for a second, I said, okay, why not? So I got into the tuk-tuk and the man agreed to do the same thing for me, 100 rupees. And we drove the opposite way, and it was kind of scary. I didn't know how to drive a motorcycle. So, you get revved up a little bit, and I could see that the man's hands were coming closer to mine to make sure that he was going to be safe. And so it was a little, I kept thinking, am I going to rev this up so much that we kind of go head over heels here? We came back safely, and I got out of the tuk-tuk. I smiled, we thanked the man. And then I realized that inside, I was feeling like I wanted to skip and jump and holler and sing a song. And this is what I thought of. Nana, nana, boo, boo, I just drove a tuk-tuk. It was so much better than... Anyway, that had not been on my bucket list. FYI. The third and last story that I want to share took place in Pushkar, and it had been arranged for us to have meditation and yoga for 3 days. And our teacher was Lalita Ji, who is actually very well known in northern India. She was at a yoga retreat up in Rishikesh and came down to join us. Very knowledgeable, experienced, and had very serious intentions of making sure we understood what yoga was all about. Until day 3 at the end of our session together, and then she said, I'm going to introduce you to laughing yoga. Well, I love laughing yoga. I had practiced it in North Carolina, and as some of you out there know, one of my very favorite things to do in life is to laugh. So this was perfect for me. I got revved up. Now, I want to put in a plug, since I'm a health practitioner, for laughing. Laughing actually boosts the immune system. And I will say that in India, I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed, and I actually stayed healthy. So, Greg, you're on for laughing. The other thing, as an aside, constipation disappears. So, back to laughing yoga. Lalita Ji had us circle up, and she put on a CD with a man sharing how to do laughter as a group. So we were hearing from the man's voice, and we were to repeat this as a group. Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. He he he. So we kept going with these kinds of exercises on and on and on, and we just couldn't stop laughing. And then the last exercise was getting a partner, looking them straight in the eye, and my partner happened to be Kaya. And we were to gaze at each other and laugh, just laugh. And the whole group was laughing, so it was hard not to laugh. So we had belly aches, we had tears running down our cheeks, we had frozen smiles. When one of us waned, the other geared up and laughed some more. So it was a joyous occasion, very bonding, and we realized that Lalita G was very serious about laughing. And she was the biggest laugher of all of us, bigger than me. So what I'd like to do is invite my colleagues from India to come up and just join, if you choose to, a little bit of laughter. Come on, Waleed. Hey, you guys, come on up. Yeah, come on up. Everyone. Gary, come on up. Oh, all right, are you ready?
I'm so ready for that.
All right, ready? Thank you all very much.